In many Vietnamese families, life revolves around work. Like most parents, my wife and I spend most of our week trying to earn a living and take care of our family. By the time the day is over, everyone is usually tired. That's why days like today are so special. Today, we're putting work aside. We'll spend the day together as a family, and I'd love to share these simple moments with you. I'm Tuk, and this is our life in Vietnam. In Vietnam, breakfast is often one of the busiest moments of the day. Before everyone heads off to school or work, families usually gather for a quick meal together. Today, my wife is making noodles, one of our children's favorite breakfasts. It's one of the meals our children ask for most often, and judging by their faces, I don't think they'll ever get tired of it. My two older daughters also love cooking. They often stand beside their mum, watching and learning from her. There's nothing fancy about our breakfast this morning, just a simple bowl of noodles made at home. But meals like this are some of my favourites because they bring everyone together before the day begins. Every morning, my wife makes me a cup of coffee before I start my day. It's a small gesture, but it always helps me feel more awake and ready for whatever the day brings. But today, she decided to make something a little different for me. She mixed Vietnamese coffee with apricot juice, creating a unique combination that I've never tried before. It's actually really good. After breakfast, I spend some time studying with the kids. Right now, it's summer vacation, so they don't have to go to school every day. But we still try to review what they learned during the school year, so they don't forget and can be ready for the next grade. In Vietnam, many parents believe that keeping up with their children's studies during the summer is important. My second daughter loves drawing. She can happily spend hours with a pencil and a piece of paper. Today, she's working on a family portrait for a short presentation she'll be giving in English at her English class. English has become an important subject for many children in Vietnam, and schools often encourage students to build confidence by speaking in front of the class from an early age. When I was a child, learning English wasn't nearly as common as it is today. Things have changed a lot over the years, and now many Vietnamese parents encourage their children to start learning it from a young age.
My grandfather is old. This is my grandmother. My grandmother is old too. This is my baby brother. My baby brother is small. This is my sister. My sister is young. This is my mother. My mother is beautiful. This is my father. My father is tall. This is me. I am cute. Goodbye.
After we finished studying, we gathered around the table to play one of our favorite family games. In Vietnam, we call it cờ cang ngựa, which means horse racing. It's a simple board game, but it has brought laughter to generations of Vietnamese families, including ours. While we're busy playing, my wife is making lunch for the whole family. For lunch today, we're having pork cooked with lotus root. Lotus root is a vegetable that's widely grown in Vietnam and is used in many traditional dishes. It has a light, refreshing taste that makes it especially popular during our hot summer months. Today's lunch is a little quieter than usual. It's just my wife, our two daughters, and my young nephew joining me at the table. My parents and our youngest son have been visiting relatives since this morning for a family gathering. Lunch felt even more special today because the children were so excited after hearing that we were going to Hanoi this afternoon. I wanted to take them to experience the walking street around Hoan Kiem Lake, a place that has become a symbol of Hanoi and one of the places many visitors hope to see when they come to the city. After lunch, before taking a short rest, the children helped with some small chores around the house. In the afternoon, my family and my sister's family headed to Hanoi together. Since our home is close to one of Vingroup's urban areas, we have access to several free shuttle bus routes nearby, so we decided to take the bus into the city. The bus was clean, comfortable, and spacious enough for all of us. For the kids, this was already part of the fun. A simple bus ride that became the beginning of our little adventure in Hanoi. From our home, it takes about 50 minutes to get to Hoan Kiem Lake. It's quite a long journey, but the kids were incredibly excited. They spent the whole ride talking, laughing, and enjoying every moment together. After a 50-minute bus ride, we finally arrived in Hanoi. The bus dropped us off about 1 kilometer from Hoan Kiem Lake, so we walked the rest of the way together, enjoying the streets and the excitement of being in the city. The first place we stopped at was Trang Tien Ice Cream, one of the most famous ice cream shops in Hanoi. Located near Hoan Kiem Lake, this place has been a familiar destination for both locals and visitors for many years. For many Vietnamese people, Trang Tien ice cream is more than just a dessert. It is connected with childhood memories and simple moments spent with family and friends. Whenever people visit Hoan Kiem Lake, stopping by for an ice cream here has become a special experience. During the hot summer months, Trang Tien ice cream becomes a very popular place to visit. The counters are often surrounded by long lines of people waiting to enjoy a simple but beloved treat in Hanoi. I chose a cone ice cream for myself. It wasn't overly sweet, and the crispy cone with its pleasant aroma made it even more enjoyable. Street vendors are a familiar part of everyday life in Vietnam, especially in busy cities like Hanoi. As we walked around Hoan Kiem Lake, we stopped to buy some green mango and draconta melon, freshly peeled and sprinkled with chili salt. The sweet, sour, salty and spicy flavors are something many Vietnamese people grow up enjoying, and my kids love them just as much as I did when I was young. Our next stop was one of the experiences the kids had been looking forward to the most, a double-decker sightseeing bus that tours some of Hanoi's most famous landmarks. It was a fun and relaxing way to see the city from a different perspective. If you'd like to try it yourself, you can buy your tickets either at the ticket counter or online before your visit. The sightseeing bus begins its journey at the Hanoi Opera House, one of the city's most iconic landmarks. Built during the French colonial period over a century ago, its elegant architecture was inspired by the famous opera houses of Paris. Today it remains an important cultural venue, and one of Hanoi's most recognizable buildings.
Ô, đây cái ví của ai?
As the bus pulled away from the Opera House, we slowly began exploring Hanoi from a different perspective. Sitting on the open-top deck gave us a chance to enjoy the city's tree-lined streets, historic buildings, and the energy of everyday life all around us. One of the things I love most about Hanoi is how the old and the new exist side by side. Modern buildings stand alongside historic architecture, while thousands of motorbikes, buses, bicycles, and pedestrians all move together in a rhythm that somehow works. For visitors, Hanoi may seem busy at first, but after spending a little time here, you begin to notice its unique charm. Every street has its own character, with small cafes, family-run shops, and people enjoying everyday life. As our bus passed by, we saw the Imperial Citadel of Thang Long, one of Vietnam's most important historical landmarks. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it has witnessed more than 1,000 years of Vietnamese history and remains a symbol of the nation's rich cultural heritage. Next, the bus passes the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, the final resting place of President Ho Chi Minh, one of the most important figures in Vietnam's modern history. If you visit at around 9 p.m, you can witness the flag lowering ceremony. It's a solemn daily tradition that reflects the respect many Vietnamese people have for their country's history and national symbols. Just beside the mausoleum are the National Assembly building and the Presidential Palace. The National Assembly is where Vietnam's lawmakers meet and make important decisions, while the Presidential Palace is the official residence and workplace of the President of Vietnam. Our next destination was West Lake and Truc Bac Lake, two of the most beautiful and well-known places in Hanoi that you shouldn't miss when visiting the city. Located in the heart of Hanoi, West Lake is the largest lake in the city and has long been a favourite place for locals to relax, exercise, and enjoy peaceful moments away from the busy streets. Around the lake, you can find many cafes, restaurants, and beautiful views, especially during sunset.
Dạ. Bên này là hồ Trúc Bạch này con.
Right next to it is Truc Bac Lake, a smaller but equally charming lake with a quieter atmosphere.
Đây là người ta đạp về.
Together, these two lakes create a peaceful corner of Hanoi where people can slow down and enjoy the simple beauty of everyday life.
Hồ Trúc Bạch.
This was the final stop on our double-decker bus journey around Hanoi. After exploring some of the city's most famous landmarks, we slowly made our way back to where our journey began. On our way back to the starting point, the bus passed by the Temple of Literature, one of Hanoi's most important historical landmarks. Built in 1070, it was Vietnam's first national university and became a symbol of the country's long tradition of respecting education and learning. Today, especially before important exams, many Vietnamese students visit this place to pray for good luck and success in their studies. For many young people, visiting the Temple of Literature has become a meaningful tradition before an important milestone in their academic journey. After our bus tour, we stopped at a small local restaurant for dinner. Places like this are very common in Hanoi. They may not look fancy, but they're often packed with customers because the food is fresh, affordable, and full of authentic Vietnamese flavor. For dinner, we each ordered a bowl of Vietnamese rice noodles, which cost about $2 each. The broth was light, flavorful and comforting, while the pork was tender and delicious. One of the things I love about Vietnamese food is that even a simple bowl like this can be full of fresh ingredients and balanced flavors. Hanoi is especially beautiful at night. As the city lights reflected on Hoan Kiem Lake, we took a slow walk around the pedestrian streets, enjoying the lively atmosphere together. Every weekend, this area becomes a gathering place where families, friends, and visitors come to relax, listen to street music, watch performances, and simply enjoy the evening. As we walked around the lake, I told my children about the legend of Hoan Kiem Lake. According to Vietnamese folklore, King Le Loi returned a magical sword to a giant turtle in these waters after helping free the country. That's why the lake is known as Hoan Kiem, which means Lake of the Returned Sword. The most curious of all was my youngest son. After hearing the legend, he kept asking me where the giant turtle was, whether it was still in the lake, and if we might be lucky enough to see it that evening. His endless questions made all of us smile. If you ever visit Vietnam, don't miss Hoan Kiem Lake. Walk around the lake, admire Turtle Tower, enjoy a cup of Vietnamese coffee, try some local street food, and simply take in the atmosphere. Whether you come in the early morning or in the evening, you'll find people exercising, families spending time together, musicians performing, and visitors from all over the world. It's a place where you can truly feel the heartbeat of Hanoi. You can also treat yourself to a Tui Ta ice cream while you're here. It's another iconic Hanoi ice cream brand, just as beloved by locals as the famous Trang Tien ice cream. Enjoying an ice cream by Hoan Kiem Lake has been a favorite tradition for generations of Hanoians, especially on warm evenings like this. Even at 9:30 p.m., Hoan Kiem Lake was becoming even more lively. Families, friends, and tourists continued to arrive, filling the pedestrian streets with laughter, music, and conversation. It's one of the reasons this place feels so special on weekend evenings. It was getting late, and the last bus home would be leaving soon. So we began the 2-kilometer walk back to the bus stop, bringing a wonderful day in Hanoi to an end. The children were getting tired after a day full of excitement, and it was time for all of us to head home. Tomorrow, life returns to normal. The kids will continue learning, and we'll be back at work. But today gave us something even more valuable. A full day of simple moments together that we'll always remember. Thank you so much for spending the day with my family. I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch our journey. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you could like, share, and subscribe. Your support encourages us to keep making videos and sharing the real life of our family here in Vietnam. Through this channel, I hope to introduce you to the everyday life, beautiful places, delicious food, and rich traditions that make Vietnam such a special country. Thank you again for being here, and I hope you'll join us on our next adventure. Until then, take care, and see you in the next video.
Đi vào đây một tí nhé.
Thôi nha. Tại ta là con cá sấu đấy.